Everyone to the 76th, 76th stream. I really just got to get a count. Yeah, I mean, we could have retired 10 years ago, but we're still doing this.
Fair. Well, I don't know. U.S. is getting harder, man. It's getting harder. The realities.
It's 65 in Canada still, is when they would like to see you retire. But let's be honest, no one has the money for that anymore.
What? Stability financially? That's a thing. Anyway, art. Speaking of financial stability.
That's not how you get there.
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
Where was I? Oh yeah, welcome 76 stream. Yeah. We got ponies. There's an alley claw.
Howdy.
There's a me claw. No, I mean, dead face.
Well, when you die, don't your fingernails keep growing? So like, you can claw with your long fingernails.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Yeah, it makes complete sense.
At least 2 to 3 cents.
Okay, I'm being corrected. It's your skin retracting, so your nails look bigger. Today I learned.
Okay, BFC, you're gonna stay my friend. I'm gonna get you a chocolate bar, and don't kill me. All right, we got art today. Today, Binky is the first person to toss art towards our faces at high speed rates, generally around the speed of light.
Whoa.
I know, it's crazy.
Whoa. You know, quick side thing here, as much as we say toss something at our faces, I feel like if we ever, make it big because we're so popular, right? Totally popular, that's gonna be our first shirt. Throw some art at our faces, and it's just like a splat. I'm already designing it, for all of our many fans.
Well, if you design that shirt, I will go get some printed for BronyCon.
Perfect.
I just need your size, because I don't know your shirt size.
All the shirts. You need all the shirts.
So that's a tangent, Stranger Source. We have got people asking for critique at the con outside of the panels. We did that critiquing room where we just critiqued art for like 3 hours in the drawing room, and then we were sitting around a table and people were bringing up art and asking questions. It was great.
I sadly don't think there's going to be an MLPDS panel this year, but I think you and some other people are doing an art panel, possibly.
Yeah, I don't know I don't remember there any talk about an MLPDS one, but
yeah, I know there's not going to be one for that, but other artists doing art things. Woo!
Yeah, I'm fine with that. We basically said the same thing every year, but we can always set up a sign saying we accept critiques. Oh. Anyway, let's critique Ravioli's art here.
Awesome.
No, it's not Ravioli, it's Binky. Hi, Ravioli, though. Now I'm hungry. Dang it,
Ravioli. Bring me the formuoli. Yep. Which one? This high action.
Yeah, it's the one that looks like it's from who's the animator? James.
Oh yeah.
It's the facial expressions and the way they're set.
Mm-hmm. I see it in the eye shape.
Yeah, definitely. Mine. Oh, your Terrace? Oh. I think we have yours lined up. Yes, we do. We're going to do yours next then. Alright, first of all, I would suggest getting rid of this line.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a bad line. There's a little cleanup over here too. But beyond that, I got nothing else for just weird lines that are coming off in odd tangents.
The one thing that's poking out to me is how long the legs are. I think this is what I noticed is that pretty much this feels like it's two bones, like it connects here and then connects here, when in reality the leg has a connection more like boom, boom, boom. So instead of having this, this hock here being so curled up on itself, you're actually going to have that stretch instead of the leg itself being stretched. So if like you can picture, boom, you got a leg, okay, the butt, we're going to have this one curved down, but instead of it going like, you know, like a leg like that, and kind of, boom, you have it stretch with the leg.
Draw group images? What's a draw group images? Is it like our... Is it like ours? Where we just tell people to draw on a canvas? Speaking of that, everyone should check out today's theme. It's great. Trust me. Bring your friends, have a great time, spin around, draw some ponies.
Ponies? Who draws ponies?
You do, Allie.
Oh, I guess that's fair.
Yeah. So another... Well, Allie shortens up the legs here. By shortening the legs, you're going to fix a secondary issue, which I've outlined with these magical purple lines. If this pony is running at the other pony to try and catch third pony that is being tossed in their sleep, they're running on two different planes. So this pony is like running past them, and they're also running above them. We don't see any hill or anything. So it looks as though they're running above them. So if we were to shrink these legs a bit, they'll keep along the same plane. Also shove them over a little bit.
Adding layers, because, whoops.
Yeah, we don't need layers.
Totally. So they said, let me show y'all, so let's see.
Ah, I get it.
Oh, I see. I see.
What if... Ellie?
Yeah?
What if all along Binky's been animated James?
I'm shocked. But not appalled.
No, just kind of excited. So that with your reference you've supplied there, that makes a lot more sense for your pony sleeping here, because I was going to say that seems very weird and awkward and nonsensical, the fact that they're curled up, the legs are solid and all that, but it makes a lot more sense with what you've supplied.
I still, even so, would push the head over a little bit more, so that it does, because right now it feels like he's holding his head up and it's not really relaxed on anything. Because if a pony was like more relaxed, this is just also me being a little bit nitpicky. I know this is a very comical animated piece, but if you want to look at making it more, you know, interactive, like maybe have more overlap, because right now he kind of feels like he's holding his head above both his hooves, where he could be like swooped down against like the hooves. You know, little sleepy pone. Sleeping there. You get the feel for things. Little hairdo.
It will add a little bit more adorable to it too.
Yeah. You really get that overlap. The face is like squished onto the hoof. Yeah, otherwise that's just an idea if you want to make it feel more relaxed.
I do really like the concept for this picture. It's hilarious, and I love the source you've pulled it from of just out a left wing there. Do more of these. It seems to work well for you.
Yes, it's so fun. It's very animated. Lots of good expression. Always love to see people, like, especially on ponies, to see them really push the expression. Most of the time, and I'm guilty of this too, you just give your pony that like small smile or like a small frown, or it's just the mouth is shut. It's nice to see like open mouths doing different things. Really pushing.
I think we break it by trying to enforce that sort of 3D feel to them, because with the way we do ours, generally we can't pull off these mouths because they don't look natural. Mm-hmm. If you go to the cartoon side, sure. You should do another one. Like right now. Because it's great. We love it. Are you going to do a foreground and background and ground? Like, are you going to give them something to be running across? Or is it just going to be a floating in white ether? All right. Do you have any further questions? Ellie, your pony looks like she's trying to catch a frisbee or a football.
Exactly. I win. I just felt like it needed a body. It felt so weird, just half a torso. Hey, I mean, I'd say your ponies are pretty nice besides the small changes. Go for a background. Push yourself. Even if it doesn't look so great, it's, it's just the first one. Then the next one can be slightly better, and each time they just keep getting better and better and better.
All right, what's your question about the running pony? Might be out of place for running. Not. You could take that other one and fold it back, but no, I think it's pretty okay.
I might have, instead of the hoof having like the circle outside, I might have it bend forward like it's trying to land on its hooves instead of hold one out for running. Like it's a forward motion where like I picture if your hoof is like that, like with the flat showing, it's almost like you're trying to like plant and stop, where if you're having it more reached out, it feels more moving forward. And just for horses moving in general, I highly recommend looking at actual horses moving more than the show, just because it's the actual animal, how it moves, where the legs are kind of placed. You can definitely play with real horse anatomy and bring it down to pony standards, but they're going to give you the best feel of movement for a reference.
Does that make sense? We haven't been announced yet, Allie.
Oh no. It could be the first bug of the system.
Just gotta shake Lulu.
Lulu!
Alright, let's go to the next one, which is directly above that one. It's the double dash.
Dash.
Alright, you still with us, buddy? Ravioli? Sweet. Hey, Allie, do you see
Yeah.
what I see?
The other ear! It's so beautiful.
It kind of makes me irrationally happy. Alright. So, things that I see right off the bat. Really, really long schnoz. Schnoz. So I just shrink that back. Make that so cute, so boopable. Maybe not quite as short as I put it. Although she does have very much full proportions because her head is the same length as the body. Is that your goal here, or are you going for something a bit older? I would retreat this far wing back just a bit, just to keep your wing tips even. The right one was drawn first, and you tried to correct it on the left. Your left one still has the same proportions, same sort of long schnoz. Schnoz?
Just needs to be pushed back a little bit.
Yeah. You want to show them the box method?
Sure. So pretty much, we have our circle. Boom. Take a few strokes. You can always, clean it up with an eraser. All that fun things. Swoosh it out. Really find your circle. Don't be afraid to make it messy. Circles are there to help, not to be perfect. But yeah, so we do our little cross grid. Figure out the face direction, all that, get your eyes in. And now for the box method. The fun old box method where we follow the lines. We generally want to keep perpendicular, or parallel, wrong phrase, with our guidelines. And yeah, we bring the box out. Let it come out, really feel the muzzle, boom boom. I don't know how to word today, but
You're wording just fine.
Just fine? Okay, I'll trust you. So pretty much the key thing is to keep parallel with your guidelines. So just as I drew these 3 yellow lines, they're all 3 of them are parallel with the main line, which is the main face guideline. So that helps keep things level with the face itself, so things don't stretch too long, or they don't face the wrong direction, because a lot of the big thing I always see happen is the muzzle points the wrong direction from the way the face is facing, which makes things start to feel off and flat a lot of the times, which is why we try to think in 3D when doing this stuff. And if circles are also confusing, you can also think of it like a giant box on the head to kind of help you with that perspective. Boom boom, box. She's a box head. All that fun boxiness. Boom boom. And then you just attach another box to the box, and it's like you can use that as your guidelines. I know it seems very square, but these are just guidelines to help you figure out perspective.
Yeah,
then we can go in and boom.
You take a
curve
power
things
sander
out
to it, right? Just
totally. That's totally how it works.
I like that you've used 3 colors. It's great.
Shh, don't worry about it.
Rainbow red lines are the best way to do it.
It's like each step you gotta like diagram it.
Well, when I redline for people not in video, I'll do a bunch of different colors, and all the text gets put in the color of the redline chunk that I'm doing.
Oh, I like that.
Makes a lot more sense.
Boom. Hopefully that makes sense on how to break it down. And then all I did was open her muzzle a little bit using the idea of a jaw, which the jaw is pretty much a lever at the back here at her cheek. Can be moved. Well, let me choose a different color. We're going more colors, guys. More of
Yeah.
them. So the jaw, normally if it's closed, it'll be straight. Open it and just bend it down. Womp. Simple as that to guide you.
Proud of your color choices.
So what were you up to while I was doing the box thing?
So while you were doing the bot, wait, audio, 1 sec. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I had to do some audio adjusting. I noticed it hit the end of its scale. While you were doing your head dealy, I went ahead and looked at the body a bit. The body shape is fine. If you're going for adult proportions, just grow that body a bit. Generally, the head is the same size as the legs and about 1.5 body in length. So you'll get 1.5 heads in. This, let's go pink. This pink, okay, that's not pink. Pink, there we go. That pink area, you'll get 1.5 heads. So what I've done is I've just enlarged the hooves a bit to match sort of the body size, because ponies have these hilariously large and adorable hooves. Generally, because it's more adorable. Chibi says make certain aspects bigger. The hooves got it. So bigger, rounder, adorable marshmallow hooves. We've just widened up the start of the leg on the front just a little bit, just to stop her from getting a very pencil-like leg. While ponies do have half the width of the start of the leg, it is only half the width of the hoof. So if we take the hoof, look at half of its size, that's the starting size. Hope that makes a little bit of sense. Yeah, it looks like someone is drawing... Allie? An adorable little pinky. The buck teeth do it. Do you have any further questions, Ravioli? Actually, I would like to say, your inking that you've done, it looks like you've done it with an ink brush. Really, really good. Love the crispness of your lines. The consistency is great. There's a few little spots that grow and shrink a little weirdly, but overall, damn right. Keep that up.
Yeah, seriously.
Your eye shapes. Yeah. You might want to, if I was to suggest something for you, you might want to consider looking towards the slightly higher end of pencil crayons. Looks like you've basically hit the end of what the regular Crayola or standard pencil crayons can do. When you start moving into slightly higher end territories, they don't leave as much air gap between the areas, like this, and on the tail. You'll see all these air gaps between what's being left down. So you can get soft core ones, which will leave a lot of material down on the paper. It makes nice, crisp, and deep colored areas. Slightly expensive. We're talking like $60 for the 48 pack or something like that.
Yeah, they can be pricey.
Can be pricey, but totally worth the investment. If you don't have the money, ask it for your birthday, Christmas, birthmas, whatever. Well worth the investment, though. Or a nice set of cheap watercolors. Those are great, too. Because and by cheap watercolors, I mean cheap, good watercolors. Something like the Koi.
Love the Koi. Portable kit.
I think it's KOI. Watercolor.
Yeah.
If you wonder what that looks like this. They make larger and smaller sets. Great set. I have a set of it. Love it. I also picked
Same.
up some watercolor pencil crayons to go with it to augment some of it. Wow, does it work well together. I've had a lot of fun playing with them so far. The nice thing about this, though, is it comes with a brush filled with water. You can just cover everything with water with how much it has.
Mm-hmm. It's really good. It's really good for, like, if you want to get into watercolors, but you don't have to worry about buying, like, liquid watercolors or, you know, like the tubed kind. But usually most, like, the powder palettes, you know, like the little powdery, like what the koi is going to be, usually they aren't too high quality. Like Winsor & Newton also does a nice good set. Those two I can highly recommend personally. But usually, like, you see the powdered ones that are like the dollar store kind, or like the really cheapy ones, you're not gonna have a good time with. So get yourself a decent brand for watercolors, and Koi and Winsor & Newton are pretty decent.
But cute pencil case is also correct. You also have to get the paper to go with it. Just white paper,
Yes.
standard printer paper, does not work with watercolors. It will curl up and not accept ink properly. Got to go with a nice, heavy watercolor paper. Cold press, hot press. And then I've
Something
seen...
from like, preferably like something that's 120 poundage.
Yeah.
That's like a good paper to work with. Unless you're working really light, you can probably squeeze a 90 pounder, but 120 is a great starter watercolor size.
I've been using 140 just for its thickness. That stuff's awesome because you get to like use it as a building material when you're done.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there you go. Art supplies. Now you have a reason to go buy some more because you totally needed a good reason.
Oh, it's so addictive.
It is. Don't let me loose in an art store, or take my wallet away before that is. Every overlap will create darker lines. That's because it keeps adding more pigment to the paper, and you have no option of getting rid of it sanely. The way you basically want to work is a few different ways to work. You can cover the area with water that you're planning on actually coloring in, and then add the ink to it, or in this case, the pigment, the dried pigment. So you pick it up with the brush, put it onto the already floating water that you have, and that will only pull into the area that's wet and will give a nice even coating of it, and then you can work in the other areas. But there's also, you can work from a dry method, which works but doesn't give you as much option as blending, or of blending, but it's quicker to do. All right, let's go on to the next one then, unless we got any further questions.
Which one is our next one? The dash?
Yeah, let's go with
Dash
the
dash.
Crispy bro, I'm excited to see what you sent me. All right, so a dashing young pony here.
Dash. Dash dash. Rainbow dash dashing. Dash dash.
Totally. Wait, are you doing Morse code now?
Absolutely.
Okay. So this is by Streamflash, and they are just practicing. Basically, their previous post was 2 weeks ago, and they wanted to make sure they post often, so they thought they'd share their most recent sketches. They can see some things wrong with it. Great. We love people looking for mistakes. That's how you improve. They have slowly harvested from other artists, it sounds like, and they're just doing a lot of posing work. And I really love their last line. They don't feel like they're on track with progress, but in their art, but they are going to stick with it. Good.
Yeah.
You're going to hit these annoying plateaus where you feel like you're not improving at all. And you're going to keep pounding your head against it, and it's going to feel terrible. And eventually you're going to break it, and you're going to improve. But during that time when you're not really improving in leaps and bounds anymore, it's so annoying. But the only way to get past it, to get to that next level, is by keep doing it. Keep learning, keep trying, fixing, going. Alright. So while Ellie does the quick red lines here, I'm going to talk about your use of references and how magical it is to us. You said you use a bunch of references. You even provided some references. Wonderful. References are key. They make life great. Nothing in life, or your early drawing should never be done without references. Hell, even late drawings. I use references as much as I can. The reason is because I just can't remember it all, and I want to make sure it looks sane. I want to make sure it looks good. I don't want a leg missing or a hip being too long. I can go back and re-critique all of this, like self-critique all of it. But if I have a reference, I have it as I go, and it saves a bit of that process.
Well, you know what they say. Good artists reference, better artists steal.
Yeah. That doesn't mean just steal someone's art and stick it on your DA.
No.
What that means is some artists will quite literally just try and recreate what they've seen. And if you go to some painting classes, they'll have you, here's this famous painting. Try and recreate it in the style that they created this and figure out how they did that. And then deconstruct it during the process. Awesome. Because you're learning, you're figuring out for yourself how someone else created it and what hurdles they must have worked through to get to that point. Cool learning. If you're able to be very introspective, I think is the word. Yeah, introspective. Figure out what you're doing, figure out what they're doing, figure out how you can get between the two. Yeah. So, Ellie, you want to talk about what you've done here?
So, the thing, everything else, I really have not much to correct about this. Everything feels good, the anatomy-wise. I love that you drew the ear in, even though the ear won't be showing. But the one thing, since you drew the ear in, I'm a little surprised you didn't draw the back leg in as well. Right now, I feel a large disconnect from where the leg should be. It's kind of floating over here, where it's nowhere near the hip. Basically, if the hip's over here, the leg kind of took a journey all the way over here to be this long thigh. So, as much as we want to show sometimes what's not there, it's nice to like draw behind. Like what you did with this ear here, you were able to like mark it out. But it'll be nice to draw where the hoof is, and like Living Dead's filling in right now, where what you'd actually see from this angle. And like I did here with, let me grab a different color. So basically, these are the connection points for the legs. So following the same lengths and sitting positions. Boom, boom. This isn't 100% accurate and maybe a little long, but that's the general idea there. Just be careful of what's behind the pony and what's not necessarily seen, because that can make or break a piece, anatomy-wise.
Bingo. Also, don't forget the other wing.
Yes.
Well, hilariously easy thing to forget because it's over there. It's somewhere back there. Don't worry about it. But if you're going to have one extended, you might as well have the other. Unless if they have a good reason to not have both extended. Like she lost it in the war.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so, suggestions for you. Keep up the drawing. Don't stop.
Oh, yeah.
If you have the ability to, set yourself, like, tasks every single week. Here's like, say, 5 references. I have to draw all of these references, or I have to create a new reference, or create a new pose based off these references, kind of thing. Set yourself challenges and see if you can get there. It's always good. If you want to go look at our sideboard of our subreddit, we actually have like 37 challenges that you can create. It's called the bi-weekly challenges. Some good ones there. I think about 25 of them are for non-emote ones. Yeah, some of them you might not be able to do because they're like, hey, go find someone else, and it might be hard unless you hop on our Discord, which you should hop on.
Come art on the Discord.
You'll find the link to the Discord on the top of the subreddit. Alright, that's all I got for this one. How about you, Allie?
That's all I got.
Sweet. Just motoring through these. Next.
Slide on over to another Rainbow Dash.
It's all Rainbow Dash Day, all the way down. Alright, and this one is by General Ichi. They've submitted in the past. This is like 2 months ago, I think, 3 months, I want to say.
Lots of improvement.
Hell, so much improvement. Their last pictures were nicely detailed, flat 2D images. I think they just started putting a little shading in. Now we got like steps towards 3D rendering here. Like, look at these smooth shadows moving around. We got reflected lights.
And it's different colored reflective lights. I'm loving it.
Interaction. Look at the wing go through Discord's fingers.
Beautiful.
Looks painful, though. I'll be honest, because those wings are bone. They have bones in them. And feathers tend not to like flexing like that.
Yeah, feathers, yeah, they like to be stiff. They're not as soft as we'd like them to be.
But that's... I mean, if that's what your goal is, to sort of be somewhat of an uncomfortable position, sure, why not? So critique on this one. I think Fluttershy's hip is actually through his finger. Yes, it has dropped. In Discord's... Wait, how does that class... Oh, yeah. The wrists. The wrists are basically gone. Discord's face looks good. The ponies, for the most part, great. I would just take the hip of Fluttershy, and if we draw out the body circles... Hello, body circles. We can get an idea of where the hip would sit. Yeah, so I would actually just have the leg coming out. Hello, leg.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. Kind of have an overlap.
Simple, easy, gets it out of the way.
I think the only big thing I'd say is a lot of your shading feels like it's done in a color very close to black, which kind of makes things feel a little grayed out and muddied in some areas. So I would be careful of how dark you're pushing your shadows. You can always push too far, but that also means you can bring it back from being too dark, or, you know, layering it out to have different depths going in different areas. Let's see, yeah, it's skirting a very grayish line if I'm just like hovering over with my picker tool. For the shadows, it kind of it like ducks deep into the gray areas, which is fine. But if you really want those colors to pop, I suggest like looking for different colors, like say maybe shading in blue. Blue is a nice one. Any kind of cool color, like in this Fluttershy's tail here, you see a bit of purple, and it already feels a lot nicer than some of the other areas like Discord's bird hand and under Fluttershy here. Her head, her forehead, it feels very like grayish. So shading in different colors I think will definitely help if you want to push your work even further. kind of stay away from just defaults, just dragging the color down to the dark areas.
So I've just moved the arms out to the side, and the reason is because if you try and take your wrist, well, you can do that. It's kind of an uncomfortable thing to do, to like hold it up like that. It's a lot easier to raise your elbows a bit and do it. Much more comfortable on the wrists. So I've given it a bit less of a steep angle to your wrists, or to his wrists, and I've given a little more shape to the hand that would come out. So I know one hand's like a talon thing, but it still has the start of the skeletal structure for a hand. It's just talons for the rest of it. And the other was a bear paw, and that, well, I very much messed up the finger here, giving it a little more shape and a little overlap to show that the arm is falling behind the hand is going to help it. So that's what I got for that one. And that's it for our art that we have submitted. Anyone else have any art they'd like critiqued?
Throw it at our faces.
I would also like to remind everyone that we have an Eggy going. You should all hop into the Eggy and draw a picture.
Yeah. It's been too hot. We gotta cool us down.
Yeah. Throw up some chakra bras. Maybe go surfing. You go, dude. Radical.
Have we had a Pony Beach episode yet?
No.
Like, come on, gang, let's go to the beach.
How have we missed that? We need the princesses there too. Or just Luna.
It'd be beautiful.
So let's do it. You got stuff to do like ruling a kingdom. I'm gonna go out and play and have just gonna half-ass the rest of my job for the night.
I don't know why, but it's making me think of like the Brady Bunch movie where they go to the beach or Hawaii and they get the totems.
You're a totem.
Wow. I'm so offended.
You're offended. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's one of those days.
Yeah. Sure, Mr. Brickenwall. Throw it at our faces.
I was trying to think of a clever joke about how he couldn't even hit a brick wall, but it didn't pan out so well.
You're a tail. One of those days, Allie. Bing bang.
It
right to the moon.
truly is.
I wish I had precious sensitivity on this app.
It's okay, just learn to live with it. That's what I did.
It's weird that it stopped working.
Yeah, they're probably going through some changes.
Just giving up. We're gonna go do something else. Make a leaving the fandom post and then leave.
You want that grand exit to that thing that you never joined or had to enter.
Totally. We're done. Goodbye.
Yeah, we're only gonna critique furries now, no ponies.
I mean, we've done furries.
That's true. We've even done humans.
Yeah, that was weird. I mean, humans are like these weird creatures.
What even are humans?
A big pile of disturbing.
That's one way to put it. Man, MS Paint's evolving.
Wait, what? MS Paint has pressure sensitivity? I don't believe this. One sec, I have to see. Paint. Oh, why doesn't MS Paint show up for me anymore? I'll just... Windows 10, some days you suck so much. Yeah, that's Paint. Come on. There. Brushes. Maybe it's a calligraphy brush? Maybe if I go a larger brush size. Doesn't seem to have pressure sensitivity for me. Those are full words, Allie. Full words.
Wow. I was lied to.
Maybe it's an option I'm missing. I kind of want to see the proof. Is the proof in the pudding?
What if it's in the trifle?
What if it's in the truffle?
Wow.
Now I'm hungry.
You know, I'm gonna have to think about that for a while. Over eating a trifle.
What is a trifle?
It's a very British dessert. It's like a layered pudding thing with stuff in it.
Okay.
It's usually got fruit and cakes, and it's all tasty.
It
like
has...
a parfait.
Ah. Trifle food. Oh man, that looks good.
Told ya.
Allie, where do I get one?
You can make it yourself.
That sounds like effort.
God forbid zombies do effort.
I do effort on days that end in B.
God damn it.
Yes, my son.
Nah.
I'm not sure if I'm seeing pressure sensitivity here or just a lot of lines laid down. Because I'm not seeing tapering to the brushes. I just see back and forth movement.
What would be a good pony to have surfing?
Scootaloo. She is a master of the scooter. I figure a surfbird's much like a scooter without wheels skipping across the surface of the water. Alright, Binky, so you want to tell us what's going on in this picture? What your plans for this thing is? I do see a little bit of a point on the signature. Yeah. Or Mr. Brickenwall. So, what's the story of this picture here? What's horse doing? I'm not sure which pony it is. Maybe it's Rarity. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Going for the giant pony thing? Oh, the one that NC Mares, I think, is currently doing it. One of those artist peoples. Alright, so they're like climbing the side of a mountain, coming out of water. Oh, yeah, that's definitely going to help set some scale, because that was going to be my suggestion. How are you going to imply that she is a giant pony?
All I wanna do is see you turn into a giant pony.
Giant pony! I just want to watch Steven Universe more.
Have you caught up?
I don't know, is there more Steven after those episodes we talked about?
Season 5?
I don't know. I don't know where it was anymore. It was, yeah, season 5, episode 4. I think was the last one I saw.
The thing where the stuff happens, pink things happen.
Yeah, pink things. And then
Pink thing.
he leaves.
Mm-hmm.
To go
So good.
do
You're all caught up.
Alright. I wasn't sure if there was another Stephen Bob between it. Alright, anyway, we're talking about this picture. So if you... Sorry, I get distracted.
It's one of those days we pre-warned everybody. It's fine.
We pre-warned them by having 76 streams.
Mm-hmm.
Or do the same thing. So yeah, if it's looking at a pony, it's going to help set the scale for it. One thing I would warn that I'm seeing right here that we have seen with your other pictures, keeping these limb sizes somewhat marshmallowy. The pony's limbs are big. They're really sort of beefy because they gotta hold up that skeleton, right? So by giving your Ginormica pony here a thinner frame, it's gonna really do it no favors for looking like it's going to be able to hold itself up. So just make sure to keep these nice and thick. Gotta leave nice big hoof prints on the ground. But beyond that, it's looking like a good start. You sound like you have a good concept and understanding of what you're trying to do here. That's all I got for it.
Mm-hmm.
The front leg was very extended and was maybe making it too long. Now's your chance to shorten it up. You got your measuring and comparing. I would just use your legs as the rest of the reference, not bother using the head size, because you've changed up your leg length off of the norm, which is fine, but just grab your leg length and compare it to the next one. In this case, your back leg does match your front leg, or at least the redrawn one.
Random question. Rule of thumb. I'm looking at the sky. The lighter part of the sky is towards the ground, right? And it gets darker as you look up?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. You got any further questions? No idea how to draw mountains. References. This is what I'm going to say. Actually,
Yes.
if you want even a cooler method of referencing, go watch a few Bob Ross videos. Pretty much 70% of his stuff is drawing mountains. Well, painting mountains. You can apply a lot of what he does to create mountains to your arting of mountains.
Bob Ross is just magical that way.
Because you're just like, pop, 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 mountain. And go, oh, okay. It's going to be a little more difficult because you aren't going to pull off a palette knife. But it gets you an idea of how just sort of organically create a mountain.
Okay, this thing doesn't want to blend. How do I make draw pile blend?
You don't... Oh,
Just
wait,
cry?
is there a water brush in it? No, there's a
There
water
is.
brush in draw pile only. Oh yeah, there is.
Well, that's what I'm working on, but I'm trying to figure out how to make it blend, and it's doing weird things.
It's not perfect. It actually just does like a weird overlay. You're doing all of this here instead of doing it on the Picarto?
I got started, and that's just little pony surfing. There you go, guys, little pony. Yeah.
You know what?
Yep.
You know what I fear is going to happen in one of these episodes? Scootaloo is gonna like just suddenly have the ability to fly. And I fear it's going to happen because this season's been a lot more disjointed than previous seasons. Like things that have happened have been reneged.
That's true. That's true. We'll see. I mean, they found who hasn't found their purpose yet. I feel like because we've had Rainbow Dash is the Wonderbolts, Cutie Mark Crusaders got their cutie marks. Rarity has like 3 businesses now. Twilight, well, she's been a princess.
Yeah. Applejack hasn't improved any bit. Rainbow... Actually, she's the only one who hasn't gone anywhere.
She's just kind of like running the... Maybe she's always had her purpose, just running the farm, but I don't know. I feel like there's something more for that simple pony.
Relationship?
Actually, I was kind of thinking that. One of the only main 6 to have.
We have it with Big Mac. That was impressive.
Big Mac gets thrown around a lot.
Yeah, but I really liked how they responded to the previous shipping that happened in it. They're like, yeah, you forced that on us. That wasn't what we wanted. In, Big Mac words.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, he's the only stallion, so...
I'd like to remind everyone, this is still going on. You should still hop over to it and do art. That's my art song.
Someone draw a surfing pony for me.
You draw a surfing pony.
But I did already.
So, use it as a reference for your new one.
I'm your biggest fan. Raritato!
Raritato surfing?
So glad to see Raritatos. I should make some Raritato patches for BronyCon. We can all wear the Raritato.
In the eventual Europe MLPDS meetup. Yeah, this is true. They still haven't gotten to Granny's hip. Also, we have nothing about the parents.
I hope for something soon.
There was a reviewer, Pink Rose. She was actually had a video up today explaining why she's pretty much bored of MLP, and it's because of these reasons. It's like they aren't willing to sort of expand on the universe any bit because the artists or the writers aren't really, they don't seem to be talking to each other. They're reneging on stuff, and they just don't seem to have an understanding of what's going on, and there's no central cohesiveness to it anymore. That's why the adventure episodes are so great. You're at least getting two that are usually integral to the to the universe.
That's true.
Also, no adventure episode this yet. Like, where's their two-parters, man? They're so good. We get a movie. Sounds like someone's making supper in a microwave behind you.
That's Inky. He's heating up a soft pretzel.
Give him a hug for me and ship me a pretzel.
Okay.
Alright. We're going to call it a day for the stream because no one else is throwing art at us. And so, Binky, you enjoy your sleep because you should damn well get it.
Yes, you should.
And for the rest of us, oh my god, it's a little Zum. I mean, for the rest of us, night.
Night. Bye-bye.